Welcome to another edition of Lean Bites. Hey, thanks for joining me today. My name is Paul Dean. On this edition of Lean Bites, I'm going to share with you a simple but powerful leadership principle on how tending the soil can lead to a successful improvement culture. Now, in this analogy, the soil is the work environment and the seedling plants are your people. Now, I've had the privilege of implementing Lean in large and small organisations, and I've found organisations that have had a successful improvement culture are those that have had a strong focus on the right working environment. And I believe in this gardening analogy, creating a healthy and work environment will make a significant difference to the engagement of your people, leading to a successful improvement culture. So please stay with me for a few minutes and I'll explain. Now, in gardening, soil has to be prepared before the planting as well as maintaining soil throughout its lifetime. So I think there are two distinct areas for soil or workplace focus: preparation and maintenance. And I've got some tips that will help you along the way of creating and sustaining a good working environment, which will help you build a healthy improvement culture. Firstly, preparing the soil. Sometimes the soil might be left parched or infertile. It might have been ravaged for years, and good nutrients may have been extracted from the soil over the years and nothing put back. It needs to be prepared before the planting. We need to remove the barriers to growth, such as rocks, debris, and hard ground. A work environment is exactly the same. If we are constantly taking and not giving back, the environment might be tough, hard, and rocky. And your people can't thrive in this type of work environment. And it's important to self-reflect on the function of the work environment, because rocky soil can be considered as a work environment which is hard and full of obstacles. Make practical efforts to remove those obstacles. If the recruitment process is complicated, you might risk losing new starters even before they arrive. Organisations that recruit well keep their recruits highly engaged from the time they sign all the way up to their first day. Try and streamline the onboarding process without losing its effectiveness. Your people will be excited to join your organisation, but will be disappointed if the process takes too long. Create a system where you first prepare before the arrival of new people. This means not just an orientation program that covers their first week, but where they learn at the gemba. And the best organisations have an orientation program that might last for a month. They position new people alongside others so they can see how they work and then move them on to another location. Some organisations even offer a day trial whereby both parties can see if they're a mutually good fit. Now, when you plant new people, ensure they're not standing alone. Buddy them with someone else that will walk with them and make them feel that sense of belonging. Do this from the very first minute they're planted into your organisation. Maintenance. The soil has to be regularly tested and checked to determine what it needs to return it to the right environment. Returning to the soil to the right condition is not just a one-time event. We need to continue to remove the barriers that are going to stun the growth, such as weeds that can grow up and rob the plants of good nutrients. And then there are pests that can eat away at the good growth. The same applies to your work environment. We need to be testing the culture by having your leaders walk the gemba, ask questions, listen and learn. And if something is missing or not right, action improvements. Don't always believe that you need to have the right or immediate answer, because there's no harm in experimenting so long as planning is robust before you begin the testing. Communicate clearly and regularly. Test that the message has been received as intended, and if possible, communicate to everyone as a single group, such as through town hall meetings. This allows simple, single, consistent messaging. And weeds are those practices that develop in competition to your important ones. They might appear acceptable, but don't align with your vision, mission, values, or goals. Cut them out and replace them with those that are acceptable. Be ruthless in your approach to unacceptable practices, because a field of weeds will very quickly overtake your good plans. And pester those wasteful processes that will eat away your people. They'll rob you of good fruit and the ability to meet and satisfy the expectations of your internal and external customers. Be tough at driving out waste. Destroy those pests. Engage your people in ideas to remove the waste and allow your people to participate in the creation and implementation of ideas. Respect the improvement idea and the person it came from. I firmly believe tending the soil by following these simple tips and creating the right working environment can help you to develop a successful improvement culture. I hope this has been very helpful, and before I go, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a global leader in workplace psychology. Empathic, emotionally intelligent work environments have a good track record of increasing creativity, improving problem solving, and raising productivity. Daniel Goleman. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Lean Bites.